Guys, we have a big breaking news coming out when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. On December 11, 2025, the armed forces of Ukraine launched its largest scale, widest reaching, and most ambitious combined kamikaze drone operation against its giant northern neighbor, Russia, of the entire Russo-Ukrainian war. Overnight, nearly 300 drones of various type, along with cruise missiles, struck targets across western and central Russia, a stretch of some 2,000 kilometers, that's 1,243 miles, including Moscow, according to Russian and Ukrainian sources reviewed by Kiev Post. Consistent with Ukraine's increasingly effective bombardment campaign of Russia's fossil fuel industry that Kiev kicked off in July. I must remind you, this started in July, this operation using drones to hit oil facility. None of this stuff was happening under Biden. All right, you guys know Joe was sending billions every week and sending all these equipments, but when Donald came to the spotlight, becoming the commander-in-chief of the U.S., Donald said, Joe is playing checkers. We're going to play chess. We're going to hit their oil facility. We're going to use drones. So it started in July, and Ukrainian main efforts for the night appear focused primarily on 5 Russian energy production facilities, igniting fires at all of them. Secondary attack hit 4 military airfield. I must remind you, for those of you that forgot, remember what the bear said, Russia, if their economy, because this stuff could bring down their economy. But back in 2022, 2023, the bear said that if their economy goes down, everybody's coming down with them. Nobody's going to win. All right, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also the description box. Once again, thank you so much for your support. Guys, this stuff here is happening in Russia, right? So you got people just, their flights has been canceled. I mean, we're talking about over maybe 300 flight canceled. Yesterday was a big hit. Ukraine fired a whole bunch of drones. Over 200 flights delayed in Moscow due to drone strike. Local sources report that aircraft did not enter the airspace and did not take off the 7 hours. The video shows a Russian airport during the strike. Russian claims that 287 drones were taken down overnight and complained that there has never been such a quantity before. All right, so this happened yesterday. That was a big surprise. They fired, when I say they, Ukraine, they launched all these drones towards Russia. More than 300 drones launched towards Russia. Now, I did post the video if you guys want to check it out. Excuse me, guys. This is the video right here. The link will be in the comments box. All right, so once again, drone blitz closes Moscow airports for 7 hours. Nearly 300 drones were taken down nationwide. All right, so that link will be in the comments box if you guys want to check it out. But we're going to focus on this one here. We're going to focus on this next breaking news. Ukraine launches war's most massive drone missile strike. Russian energy targeted. All right, so we're going to see what's going on with that one. Now, I do believe that this new operation, that's what I call it, a new operation. I believe this one here was under Donald. Donald and his team, the administration, and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, all them people, they came together and say, hey, Donald, we don't know what Joe was doing with this war, but this is terrible. They were giving billions. Again, we don't know if they were even aware that they were losing this war. So they came together and say, look, we need to hit this facility. We need to hit that facility. Zelensky, you don't hold the cards. You don't know what you're doing. You, Joe, you guys just completely played things backwards. It says here about 1/5 of the Ukrainian kamikaze aircraft in a possible distraction tactic flew to Moscow and circled above the Russian capital, triggering furious night-long effort by local air defense forces to shoot them down. Authorities issued a rare general warning to Moscow residents to take to air raid shelters and ordered a lockdown of the city's 4 airports, stranding thousands of air travelers. All right, so this is a very important update here, guys. Very important update. At the same time, they're working on some kind of peace deal. All right, so Zelensky and his buddies, 30 countries, I guess the alliance, NATO, they came out with their peace plan and presented it to the US. We're going to see how all that plays out. So the longest range attack hit an offshore oil production platform. There you go. In the Caspian Sea, some 1,500 kilometers, that's 932 miles, from the nearest probable Ukrainian drone launch site, scoring at least 4 hits and setting the Lukoil-owned rig pumping crude oil from 20 seabed wells on fire. The strike was reportedly carried out by long-range LT drones, a Ukrainian-produced push-propeller aircraft typically armed with an explosive warhead weighing 120 up to 350 kilograms. That's 265, 772 pounds. Man, that's like, well, that's pretty heavy. By midday on Thursday, firefighters were still fighting to extinguish the blaze, and production has stopped. No injuries were reported. It was the first time in the war that Ukrainian forces had hit a target in the Caspian Sea. Man. There was no official comments from Kiev about the strike. Once again, you have a Russian Airwatch information platform shortly before midnight on Wednesday, Thursday, were the first to report an extraordinarily large number of Ukrainian drones, most propeller-powered, but some jet-powered, were heading into Russia. So the bear got hit. They got hit. They were in shock. They were like, what? You guys, got drones that can reach that far? So, yeah, Russia's in shock mode. So Ukrainian civilian air defense watch platforms tracking the outgoing raid into Russian airspace. So the jet-propelled kamikaze aircraft accounted for about 20% of the total aircraft launched. Independent Russian media, including the Astral news agency and the Moscow Times, confirmed the scale of the strike and most of the targets hit. Reports by Ukrainian Mill bloggers, citing military intelligence sources and Russian social media from regions attacked, likewise supported a picture of a massive series of raids carried out on a scale not attempted by Kiev previously in a war. Per those combined reports that the Ukrainian drone missile strike packages also attacked 4 other energy infrastructure targets in Russia. You have the oil refinery in Samara region, that's 800 kilometers, 500 miles from the Ukrainian border. Here's another one, another oil refinery, 400 kilometers, that's 250 miles away. Here's another oil refinery, and this one in Saratov region. Here's another, this is a few storage depot. All right, so you see these miles. It's, again, Ukraine could now reach this far. All right, so they could launch drones that could reach hundreds of miles. Look at this one here, almost 400 miles. Look at this one here, almost 500 miles. That's scary. Russia is like very concerned right now. I mean, again, they don't need missiles. Ukraine just found something here. But you have to ask yourself, how come it took Ukraine this long? You know, how did Ukraine overcome this? Easy. Donald. And there was reports that came out that said the Pentagon is instructing Ukraine what to do. And this is under a new administration. All right, this is not Joe. But remember, guys, remember what the bear said. If their economy falls, if they lose this war, they're going to drag everyone down with them. It says here, by the count of energy infrastructure targets hit in a single night, 5 according to the Ukrainian officials. The strike set a new AFU record in previous raids on Russian energy infrastructure. Ukrainian drones typically hit just 2 or 3 facilities per night. This is a huge operation here. Russia's Ministry of Defense in the morning hours following the Ukrainian strike issued a statement saying its air defense forces had shut down 287 Ukrainian drones or missiles across Russia, and that damage at all locations was minimal. But Ukrainian military information platforms contradicted the Kremlin's narrative of massive shootdowns and minimal damage, citing a flood of panicked Russian social media posts backed by photos and videos that appeared to show Ukrainian weapons flying unimpeded through Russian airspace towards targets hundreds, even thousands of kilometers apart, detonating and firing group explosion. Man. And Kiev is like, and the U.S. says that Ukraine doesn't hold the upper card. They don't hold the upper card. Come on, Kiev Independent or Kiev Post. You guys know Ukraine doesn't hold the upper card. They got this idea from the U.S. Kiev Post could not independently confirm either the Bear Defense Ministry claims or the anecdotal report of specific Ukrainian strikes on the Russian refineries and offshore platforms, or the damage caused. Once again, the Bear social media posts from cities targeting by the Ukrainian drones, according to a Kiev Post review, were largely skeptical of the positive spin on their air raids promoted by Kremlin spokespeople. In Xinjiang, locals reported hearing or seeing 15 up to 20 propeller-driven drones pass overhead, seemingly flying past non-existent air defenses and then exploding within the city's oil refinery perimeter. Local media reported fires of smoke. One video reportedly recorded during the strike showed a drone passing overhead at treetop altitude. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this one here, guys? Moscow, a rare target for Ukrainian drones, reportedly faced over 100 drones in what may be the largest hostile airspace violation of the Russian capital since World War II. Man. So now they have very powerful drones that can reach that far. Local air defenses claim dozens of shootdowns and no significant ground damage, while social media images of debris appear consistent with Ukrainian decoy drones. Civilians' air traffic tracking platforms confirmed reports of airport shutdowns. The overnight air battle forced the cancellation of up to 200 flights, shutting down all 4 of Moscow airports for 8 to 10 hours. Local media showed hundreds of travelers sleeping on benches or on exercise mats on the floor at certain airport. And I just showed the video at the very beginning of this one here. You guys seen the video of people sleeping on the ground. So we are definitely seeing something here, guys. Ukraine just found some kind of formula for, you know, when it comes to these drones. And the Bear, well, the oil facility is getting hit. And the airport in Moscow is also getting hit. This was a big operation last night. All them drones were launched a couple of hours ago and sent a strong message to Moscow. And I do believe the bear is going to respond back. But remember, guys, none of this stuff was going on under Joe. I believe a lot of this is under Donald and his team, the cabinet, the administration. So I would keep you updated when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Check out the videos I posted today. The links will be in the comments box. If you can, please pray for us. We've been dealing with some kind of virus going around, but please pray for us. We thank you for the prayers. We're sending prayers to a lot of people out there. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Till next time later. Peace.